Either they have squatters or their decorator should be shot. Or both.
Must be a stiff bottle waiting for me if I ever manage to make it out of this barrel!
Last time I heard someone in this much distress, they downed a whole bottle of liftoff on a dare. He's done for.
When all is confused, all will become.
Oh no! It's... No! Now? You're asking me that now? Sure, whatever. Take it. Just be mindful what you touch after. Might have Zeranium on it. And if you don't return it, I'll slap you silly with my Zeranium-covered hands. But until then, leave me and my burning bits alone!
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll show you how a true acolyte fights! Release me now, you traitors! Hey, you! Let me out of here! Let me out of here! I'll spare anyone! One who frees me. The rest will die horribly, I promise you that! I'm here at the behest of the Exalted Leader. You betrayed the glorious dawn! Let me out!
Architect's balls! That was some fine killing! Would have preferred you'd left one or two of those traitorous miscreants for me to sharpen my blade on, but no matter. Serves me right trying to help those sorely lacking in the gray matter. But they rightly paid for their transgression. Betraying someone sent by the exalted leader of the glorious dawn herself warrants a painful death. Name's Azza. You are? We are simply a group of enlightened individuals seeking to spread the truth of the rifts, despite our persecution by those who seek to keep the masses aimless and distraught. The rifts only seem destructive because we are looking at them from the point of view of imperfect, mortal bodies. To be deconstructed by a rift is to be reborn in perfection. The rifts are a device of the architect to hasten humankind's perfection. They reduce whatever comes into contact with them to mathematically perfect information. We are nothing but that information, but we cannot see that because we exist in a chaotic and disordered reality. The universe is decaying, and our efforts to manage it are futile. The rifts are a perfectly ordered phase of existence. No chaos, no striving, no suffering. Peace and unity with the architect themselves.
Ridiculous. The Rift's existence is an anomaly, nothing more. Their existence begs for correction.
I see no need to respond to such heresy. You are obviously ill-informed. You cannot tell me we're not of like minds and similar temperaments. This doesn't end here. I have similar business at the N-Ray range. These fools were only part of the contingent that betrayed me. I aim to see them pay the same price, though maybe with more disemboweling. I could use your help there, and I'm sure my particular talents could be of service to you. If you'd deign to take me on, of course. Nothing that will live to regret, but it seems like you've already a full contingent with you.
Really, Commander? You're swapping me out for her? All right. When you need someone you can actually trust, you know where to find me.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go kill us some traitors. I can't believe I'm surrounded by idiots. Not you, I mean the other idiots. They betrayed not just me, but the Exalted Leader herself. I was sent on her behalf to help them scavenge for old order technology to further investigate the wonders of the rifts. So, they need to die. Any other questions? Who can say what drives those who have clearly lost their minds?
The answer to that might require a dangerous amount of self-awareness. Dangerous to all those around you.
Such as? Nothing of much worth to tell there. I'd rather hear your story. Prison? Really? Were you mentally refreshed? I wholeheartedly concur. Regret is for the unenlightened. Fortunately, the Dawn saved me from such concerns. They gave me a new life and wiped away the old. My world used to be devoid of color. Everything was gray. Now everything is vibrant, like the arterial spray of a freshly opened vein. And I'm still not interested in discussing it.
Associate Carrington, audio log entry, 10. My orders were to watch for the enemy. Specifically, to never break line of sight to my assigned field of view. But I can hear them advancing along the shore to the south. It's fine. Others have been assigned that field of vision. This is the most efficient method of defense. Architect, they're getting closer. Perhaps I'm taking my orders too literally? I'll just peek. No. Trust in the equation. Trust in those greater than I in the order. I will keep looking forward for enemies from that vector. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I have faith that the architect...
This one appears to have been too terrified to even look at us. I almost feel bad killing him. Almost.
That's the range, Commander. This will be glorious. Hope my enthusiasm doesn't get the better of me. Those traitors need to suffer.
Enemy spotted. Threaten one who welcomes obliteration.
Investigating hostile intentions. Wrist weapon prime! Go for torpification.
Now this is just sloppy. If I wasn't already here to kill all these traitorous fools, I'd be forced to use one or two as an example to the rest.
We can hear those wriggly little grub fingers of yours. Bring them close so we can chop them off.
Stop your silliness, fool! The only ones losing body parts around here today are you and your traitorous friends!
0.36 cubed divided by the standard rate of fluid flow, and then you multiply by, is it 30 or, oh, hello.
Look at the state of this poor fool. They just left her bleeding out? Exsanguination is an art. Where's the precision, the pride in their work? This is just embarrassing.
There's a cultist behind you. Wait, surely she isn't with you. No, of course not. Architect's mercy, thank you. It is so much easier to be polite when I needn't fear all of my bones sliding out of my body. Oh, dear Archivist Clemens has been so strange lately. So distant, so agitated. And not his normal agitation, mind you. This is something different. Much worse. He's deeper in the facility, working on something he deemed to be of the utmost importance. Either he is still below, continuing said work, or he is quite dead. And with all those cultists gallivanting about, I don't fancy his odds.
Please, with the way my so-called brethren are comporting themselves, he's more likely to die of boredom. If I was in charge here, all of you'd be dead. We soon will be.
Yes. I'm sure you'll kill them quite well. The crazed cultist, people like your friend here, have been sowing destruction throughout the range for days. I've seen few firsthand, but that isn't because they've gone. Rather, I believe they have become visibility deficient. You can attempt such, but if my current state is any indication, the cultists are unlikely to be sporting with you. There's no such thing as invisibility. I can only theorize that their visual forms were sent out of phase when they haphazardly tampered with pressurized N-rays.
Their actions are inexcusable. Science allows us to unveil the wonder of the rifts. We do not disrespect it. Now, is there any science around here we can use to find and kill them?
It's a shame the facility is in shambles. We've an N-ray scanner device that may render the cultists far easier for one to locate. The scanner is an optical device designed to detect electrical signals and the N-rays given off by all living beings. Visible or not, the cultists still give off N-rays. It was stored nearby. But with the damage to the facility, you'll likely need to use the maintenance vent on the wall there behind the screen to get anywhere near it. I appreciate your aid. I'm going to wait here and try to prevent my wounds from reopening.
Extensive damage.
There's the N-ray scanning device the scientist was talking about.
before it can become everything.
Enemy in vicinity. Try to stupefy.
Get on with the killing.
You've opened the way forward. Very good work.
Investigating hostile intentions. Threat detected. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Unworthy of transcendence.
Check your scope. Analysis.
Next one.
You there, you must leave. Is that a cultist with you?
Don't worry. I'm not like these idiots running around here haplessly. If I was here to kill you, it would be no random thing. You'd know it. Are we here to kill this guy, Commander? Good point. We'll kill him after we get the information.
I have nothing to say to the likes of you, except if you attempt to interrupt my work, you will no doubt meet the same end as your fellows. Leave, and you may yet live.
This guy is hilarious. Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes how much more worried he should have been about me than all the other nonsense around here. Killing traitors is quite fun, is it not?
Victor, I fully understand the importance of your work. This is exactly why I push you so. Your moral justifications for delaying your delivery are misguided. Dead is dead. What matter is it if their ends come in 1 minute or 3? If you seek to be humane in your duties, fine. So long as I get the explosives in time. But if we fail to act, the Order will be lost forever. Collateral damage was always inevitable, Victor. You knew this. And the longer you take in your laboratory, the greater your risk of being caught becomes. If that happens, you know what must be done. But I should remind you that such a failure will result in vastly more suffering for all parties involved. We need those explosives now, Victor. Let's finish this.
Isolated you from my hand. How dare you hamper my ascension with your...
I have a fix on their weaknesses. Torpificator is charged. Target.
Both eyes open.
True transcendence. I have power unto the
Combat problem. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Look at the sad little sprat in his corrugated...
Mobilizing. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
You, friend of friends, are a greater ally than any number of fellow scienticians. Oh, thank you very, very much for dealing with those cult... it seems you missed one.
What? Where? I thought we dispatched with all of those traitorous charlatans.
I can see it would be best for me to tactically overlook your comrade. Very well. I see you possess our N-ray scanner. Ooh, ingenious device. If I'd had it, I may have evaded being trapped here. Oh, I shouldn't have had to worry. Damn that Victor and damn his hubris. Fitting that his experiment would cause so much strife. Yet he would be untouched by the ensuing pandemonium. What? Oh, there was nothing wrong with the experiment. It was his approach that I take exception with. I don't know the specifics, only that Victor was performing a procedure utilizing processed N-rays. When those cultists flooded the range, they damaged the N-ray canisters. In the ensuing chaos, Victor's experiment was destroyed. I know some cultists were killed, but many more still live, moving unseen through the range. Survived is something of an overstatement. Most of the cultists died immediately upon exposure, and according to past experiments, those that haven't are experiencing accelerated organ liquefaction. I would be more sympathetic to their collective plight, had they not promised to insert every item in this room down my throat in reverse alphabetical order. Although it requires further investigation and experimentation, out of phase refers to a shift in the dimensional presence of these cultists. They are physically here, but only partially, hence their unseen state. It's fascinating. But the outstanding fear for my life has made it difficult to think scientifically. Oh, believe me, this is more excitement than I ever wanted. I shall.
head is filled with unseen traps. Cultist, scientist, you will be killed. I cannot afford your interruption. Once more, please cease.
Don't become a statistic, Commander.
I cannot believe this. How many times must I say, oh, observe. You have been persistent. That is over. Please.
Yeah.
I never wanted this situation to escalate like this. You must understand. But now, all that I wanted is cast to the wind. There is but one option left to me. To save Arcadia, to ensure the future, we must both die. Don't try to distract me. If DeVries does not receive my explosive, she will resort to a violent assault. Many will die, pointlessly, and in agony. I can at least deliver them an instant, painless death. I thought this explosive vest would be an unnecessary precaution. All I can hope is that by blasting us both from the field of play, the Order shall find its way to truth. Want has nothing to do with it. I have very specific instructions on how to proceed in the face of contingencies such as yourself. And you cannot possibly understand whether I am or am not capable of martyrdom. You do not know my depth of character. You read my terminal. I cannot. No. I deny what you're saying. Whatever my personal feelings, the Order's success is more important. You're not with the Order. You cannot understand why this would be. Could I explain, the words would be lost on you.
I beg to differ. I'd likely understand any analytical or theoretical justification you claim to have better than you do, scientician.
I heard tell of an Order operative recently being spotted in the field. A legendary figure who'd been absent for years. One who'd be eminently capable of understanding the difficult decisions that must be made for humankind's ascension. That's you, isn't it? The end point?
You are correct, Victor. I am the endpoint, and I am well equipped to understand your reasoning, should it be sound.
Very well. I can spare words with you. Explain my perspective. It won't prevent me from doing what I must. If the Order is not prevented from reaching its true potential and solves the universal equation, all scientific uncertainty and any associated suffering will end. If what you say is true, then you have my tentative thanks. However, scientific certainty would absolutely have prevented that from happening. We would have predicted it. DeVries opened my eyes. The Order is on the path to absolute truth. And if they are not interrupted, this truth can be pursued. The one right path for humanity revealed to us. Politics cannot bind us. Uncertainty cannot strangle. And no one can be allowed to waltz in and hurl our plans into disarray. What? How do you not understand the present situation? What coward would strap an explosive device to himself? That's not all this. Helping DeVries, completing the work on my explosives is important. It matters. DeVries agrees. Augustine couldn't have done such a thing. She was on a secret mission at the time. I don't wish to believe you, but what you're saying has the ring of truth to it. I've been a fool going along with this farce. But it stops now. My relationship with Augustine is at an end.
This poor fool seemed intent on doing himself and us both. Impressive work convincing him otherwise. What say I have a go at him with my disemboweling knife? See what he knows. Might want to stand back. This could get messy. If I do it right. Now then, Victor. Let's you and me conversate about your friend and her plans. I knew the little fellow was lacking in fortitude, but I must admit to a certain inexplicable dismay at how quickly he passed. Maybe my enthusiasm just got the better of me. Still able to get what we needed, though. Seems he was trying to find a way to send explosive devices out of phase so they could remain undetected once placed. He was a little hard to understand at the end there, but I think he wanted to make sure the people were killed instantly and didn't suffer. As if that would have mattered to them. Of course I am. Just a little more exertion than I was expecting. Need to learn to pace myself. Let's move on. I'm certain there's more killing to be done elsewhere.
My fellow Loyalists, it is time. Due to the Earth Directorate operatives' continued meddling, we must increment our timetable by a factor of hours, not days. Accordingly, our forces have taken over the monastery. Those I predetermined to be resilient to reason have been executed. The rest should not cause us trouble. I have locked the lift to prevent the agent from reaching the monastery, but the following code will grant you access. 34145. I will continue my work from here, supplying Augustine with everything she needs for our plan to succeed, and delaying the agent as I'm able to. May the results of our actions today secure a more prosperous tomorrow for our sacred order.
Seer Wiley isn't very good at this whole seer business, is he? Nice of him to just hand us the code like that. We should remember to mock him for that as he bleeds out. Boy, damn it! We've killed every traitor in this place, but their treasonous scum of a hierarch wasn't among them. I like the cut of your jib, Commander. Extinguishing the life of Hierarch Ziegler is definitely our next priority. They were operating under his orders. But since he wasn't here to lead them in person, they would have maintained regular contact using one of our communication devices. I saw one of them earlier. We should go see what information it will yield to us. I'll mark your map with its location. This is it, the Dawn's communication device. Let's see what I can find on it. Not much, but there are a few encrypted messages from Ziegler reporting on a rift in Paradise Island he was sent to study. Idiot didn't even have enough respect to stay to kill me himself. Well, it's of no consequence. Now that I know where he is, let's go show him the error of his ways. I'm right behind you, but not in a threatening way.
Got a bad feel about this line, hon. Don't like being so exposed. Hell of a thing coming all this way just to catch a bullet on the camp's doorstep.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Fish.
Ruth Bassar is the first among equals of the Laureate Council. She will raise humanity to perfection.
Yes. You may peruse to your heart's content, but do so speedily, for my sake.
Grand Architect! First an attack on the monastery and now the lift code's not working? Am I misremembering it? No. Yeah! Unless... Wiley would know this, I'm sure.
For him? Yeah. I'd give my 10-year...
I am 100% certain that its tensile strength is marginally greater than our combined weight. Probably.
Wait, look! Someone just came up via the lift. It must be unlocked.
That's all bluster. We're an unpredicted variable in his equations, and he knows it.
Hold that belief in your minds. Let it strengthen your resolve, and do not hesitate. The time for ideation is concluded. Now is the time for execution.
Enemy moving into harm's way. From me.
Sorry.
rejuvenation device.
That device may be the deciding factor in whether you live or die in the near future. Unless you can expedite hemostasis and proliferate new tissue on your own.
Combatant scan. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Check your scope for combatant analysis.
Terminating unproductive.
Found another one.
Ratcheting up my aggression. Combatant. Adversary vulnerability identified. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Combatant scan. Time for the dip. Those junction boxes look familiar. The N-ray scanner should show how they're wired.
That's just plain wrong. Whoever wired this up should be expelled from the Order. I thought they had some self-respect.
Architect's perspiring brow if you try to cite the fourth pillar to me one more time.
Scientific advancement should not come at the cost of the grace and dignity of innocent lives. That is armed conflicts are not the inevitability you are making them out to be, Anya, but rather the result of a populace failing to adhere to scientism's stoic imperative.
Oh, and I suppose we're going to pretend the second pillar doesn't exist? I must have just imagined reading Alfred Long's 75 Thesis on determinism then.
Anchorites, be warned. Any conversation with these two may prove pedantic.
You're in luck. I just finished my third reread of it. Chapter 47 is a real treat. When we're finished speaking, I'll put it in the collection drawer, but do take care with it, especially around the bath. We lose more good books that way. The anchor hold is proofed against sound to allow us to conduct our work in quietude. Hence the speaker unit you're using now. What happens outside is of no concern to us.
I'll tell you what you can save us from. Rude novices who don't observe proper anchor hold etiquette.
Actually, an outside opinion might be useful at this juncture. Our current topic is whether war is ever justified. For the sake of time, please keep your answer brief. And how do you predetermine the harm of action against the harm of inaction?
We make those estimates all the time. That's the whole reason we employ seers.
We're going in circles again. If only we had access to the materials we requested, perhaps we could settle this debate.
I need the book Only Real Numbers, The Casualties of Appeasement by Exemplar Kwong. Second edition, not the first. That's important.
And I require Archivist Mahler's dissertation on de-escalation theory. You should be able to locate both pieces of scholarship in the scriptorium. I'd also caution against borrowing additional titles. The scribes are absolute fusspots when their work goes missing. I'm sure I have no notion of what you're referring to.
Good for him. About time someone put theory into application.
What my colleague means is Landon Wiley is among our most gifted and dedicated seers. Whatever actions he's taken must be in service of the plan. I do hope no one's been hurt, though. I see. That is distressing to hear. But as we in the Order like to say, the plan actuates by deliberate means. Let us hope this conflict resolves itself soon.
Augustine? Sure. She's got a mind for provocative hypotheticals. Asked a lot more interesting questions than we normally get.
I will add it has been some time since we last saw her. Not since before the schism, in fact. Why do you ask?
Augustine was obsessed with the Rift. She wanted to know all the potential routes the Order might take to deal with it. We explained that the Rift is an aberration of the plan's natural order, corrupting time and space and creating uncertainty. Consequently, all efforts should be made to close it.
Apologies, but gossip doesn't fall under our purview. We've secluded ourselves here to avoid such distractions, so I would thank you to exclude us from any remote drama. Much appreciated. We'll present our final arguments once you've returned with the research.
that all things happen for a reason. But the wise nonetheless know that nothing occurs without
I've always wanted to fight a mathematician.
Ah, Commander. Caught me cogitating. I was just thinking about making some tweaks to Val. Hoping it'll help. Oh, just the usual. Flickering occipiters, gimbal misalignment, effector failures, voice box trembles, recurring errors in logic assembly. Val's old in Automech years, so she requires a lot of routine maintenance to prevent her hardware and systems from deteriorating further. Yep, gotta fill the hours with something, right? Most times I find working on Val relaxing, actually. Meditative. It's nice being able to identify a problem and just fix it. Which is precisely why I take care of the maintenance around these parts. Val saved my life after Horizon Point. and she's been saving my life every day since. Partly, I'm just glad to return the favor, even if I am just putting off the inevitable. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time yammering, but thanks for stopping by. Victor wasn't exactly the partner in crime I envisioned DeVries to have. Someone with a little more grit. That man back there? Reckon a tough crossword puzzle would have eventually sent him over the edge, even if we hadn't come along. And DeVries had him building a bomb. She obviously manipulated him into acting against his conscience. But he didn't leave us room to show him any grace neither. You ever wonder what might have happened if DeVries had let us in on her initial plan? Surely we wouldn't have been taken in by her rhetoric like Victor. Right? Hotshot Earth Directorate agent swoops in to liberate your colony, sets you on a new exciting path, and you're telling me you wouldn't have been a bit smitten? Good law. I was a kid with a crush, like you said. It wasn't serious. If anything, I wanted to be DeVries. After Triangulum, all I wanted was to do for other colonies what Augustine had done for mine. Still do, if I'm honest. I will say, it's a lot easier to do just that nowadays. With you around, that is. Thanks for letting me wax for a bit. We can get back to what we were doing now. Unless there was something else you needed. It was less merger and more hostile takeover. I don't have all the details, but it sounds like Spacer's Choice tried to outmaneuver Anti-Cleo through quasi-legal means and got a hell of a lot more than they bargained for. And now her new brand's been turned into an invasion force bent on conquering the entire system. Funny how life works out. Oh yeah? What's needling you? Shit. Knew I was forgetting something. Of course you did. I had some trouble adjusting in the years after Horizon Point. I was in pain more times than I wasn't. Had trouble sleeping. The drinks helped. Until they didn't. I will. Just so long as you promise not to take notes or nothing. I'm not some patient or specimen, Commander. Just so we're clear. For those first few years, every time I laid down and closed my eyes, I went back there. To Horizon Point. I'd swear I could feel the explosion again, the heat coming at me. I'd wake suddenly in the middle of the night, startling at nothing. Sweating like I'd run a race. Sometimes Zeb set up with me. He told me I'd get better with time, and I did. The sedatives he was occasionally able to get his hands on didn't hurt neither. Anyway, that was the past. I'm good now. I found other ways to cope. Healthier ones. Those are some nice vintages. Or will be, someday. Could even turn into collector's items, depending on how things shake out in Arcadia. Be a crying shame to just space them. Honestly, I'd forgotten I even stashed them in that safe until you mentioned it. I just wanted them somewhere out of sight, so I didn't lean on a bad habit. I'm sleeping. It's not always restful, but at least it ain't like it was during those first few years after the station. I'll keep that in mind next time I'm fighting my sheets. When I'm not out there heroically saving the colony, I like to tinker around the ship or work on Val. I exercise. Been considering taking up cross-stitch. What do you think? Just remember you said that the next time I'm puttering around at odd hours making a racket. And thanks. Was there anything else you needed, Commander? Fair point. Guess Horizon Point didn't exactly foster a lasting fellowship, did it? All jesting aside, what's there to tell? Spent the first year getting back up on my feet, literally. Been mostly laying low since then, maintaining my cover. Before the invasion, at least, the Earth Directorate still needed someone to watch the colony, and I had 2 working lamps. Not always. Went a couple of stretches there on low power to avoid detection from Protectorate patrols. I usually shut her down for a few cycles then. The way you're gawping at me right now makes me think I answered that question wrong. I appreciate the concern. Won't lie, had some hard years. Got caught up in a few lost causes, the particulars of which I'd rather not go into now, if it's all the same. I found you. Oh, and Val's been stalling less since I patched her acclimator. Ship doesn't smell anymore. That's about it. Spratwurst. I was trying to teach myself some new skills in the galley. Val got it into her hardware. I needed a hobby. I figured Spratwurst ain't an easy meal to mess up. Well, I learned about 20 ways how not to fix a worst. Like most colonies, good people being ground down from above. A lot of fancy talk from suits about streamlining and quarterly earnings while them on the line barely scrape by. Triangulum's known for churning out freighters, and shipbuilding ain't exactly known for being clean, safe work neither. Especially when corners get cut. Can't remember a time I didn't end the day all banged up, filthy, and smelling like I just crawled out of an exhaust port. It was hard work, sure. But there was something special about seeing one of them long haulers fire up her engines for the first time and knowing you had a hand in her construction. Funny thing was, I wasn't even an engineer back then. But I wanted to learn, so I paid attention. Too good of attention, as it turned out. I was working late one evening and overheard something I shouldn't have. Some bigwigs exchanging inside information that would have cost the corporation a pretty bit. A day later, I was being accused of corporate espionage. Didn't want to bring any heat down on anyone else, so I went on the run before the first jackboot showed up at my door. Oh, now, you'll have to tell me what those other things are sometime. I was on the run for, I don't even know how long. The days sort of bled into one another. I started losing hope of things ever changing for the better. Then, the Earth Directorate showed up. They liberated Triangulum, pulling me and the rest of the colony out from under the corporate boot. Joining up after that just made sense.
We going to kill Hierarch Ziegler soon? My knife hand's getting itchy.